I was affected. And so I took the video down. I left my church. The scale of what To My Sisters has grown into in just 2 years can only be God. Does that have perfume in it or something? Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all doing well. I don't think words can describe how excited I am to be back filming and creating content and just talking to you guys. And today we have a classic, a chit chat get ready with me, because I have a lot to fill you in on. And when I say a lot, life has been life in the best way possible. I can't lie, I think the second half of this year has been the absolute best. I want to give you some serious life updates, catch you up on the last 4 months of my life, and just talk about what I have been discovering now that it has been a year since I hit pause on my company and running that full time and decided to just have a gap year. We're going to talk about why and what I've discovered, what I've learned, what it's taught me, how I'm feeling. But yeah, let's talk, let's gist. But before we get into it, like I said, life has been busy, okay? And one thing that has been holding me down during all of this busyness has been my good old HelloFresh. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video yet again. HelloFresh is in the cut supporting our channel, okay? Supporting our content, and I absolutely love it. If you do not know what HelloFresh is, I mean, what's going on, okay? HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service which delivers fresh and pre-portioned ingredients straight to your door for you to make exciting, amazing, flavorful meals. And the reason why I say that is I think and I've discussed this before, with meal kit delivery services, people are kind of like, is it gonna taste good? But HelloFresh actually tastes good. You can select from a range of constantly updated recipes, and it allows you to try new dishes and new cuisines from all over the world, which you may not have gone and tried on your own, because the ingredients list can sometimes be hefty, and it's kind of like, what are you gonna do with all of these ingredients after you've made this one dish? That's why I love HelloFresh. If I want to try something new, spruce up my diet a little bit, I order myself a HelloFresh box, especially if I am busy. The last 2 weeks, I'm gonna get into it, but the last 2 weeks have been hectic, and having a HelloFresh box just delivered to my door, and it's like, here Quartz, here are 3 delicious meals that serve 2 people, just make it less than an hour and eat, makes me happy. It just takes away so much stress. And today I actually made the butter chicken with rice and some garlic naan. And when I tell you, butter chicken is actually my favorite curry. Let me know, my Asian sisters, okay? Is butter chicken considered a curry? But anyway, it's my favorite curry, and I've never made it before at home because I don't know. I know how to make stew, but curries, So having the step-by-step instructions as well as the pre-portioned ingredients made it a lot easier for me to experiment with a dish which I really love. And it already had a breakdown of the nutritional information, because your girl is trying to drop some pounds. So having an awareness of the macros and the calories and all of that stuff that goes into the meal definitely helps me keep track of what it is that I am eating. So HelloFresh doesn't have to make you deviate from your meal plan or anything like that. So HelloFresh has an amazing offer going on for Black Friday, okay? Listen to this. If you use my code Daniela60 or the link in my description box, you will be able to get 60% off your first box and 25% off your next 8 boxes. Don't say I didn't hook you up. Don't say I've never hooked you up before, because that is a deal, okay? So head to the information in my description box so that you can grab your box as well. This is a limited offer, so be quick. So let's get into the makeup, let's get into the gist, okay? Firstly, I think the last place that I'm gonna be doing a new makeup routine today, actually. You guys know me, new is never really new. I have had the same makeup routine since I started doing my makeup at 15 years old. It's not going to be a shocker. However, I have integrated some slightly new products and approaches that have given me a phenomenal face beat. I'm gonna insert some pictures of how I've been looking over the last couple of weeks. Don't tell me I don't look scrumptious. You can't lie like that. The last few weeks, I even made notes so that I didn't miss out on filling you in on everything. So I feel like the last time we fully caught up, I had just come back from Tanzania. I know I had Mali twists, but I can't remember what era of my life that was. I feel like my short Mali twist was when I was going to a whole bunch of weddings, which means it was around September, October. So I was going to a whole bunch of weddings. Shout out to all my friends who have recently gotten married. It was a serious season of love in September/October for me and my homies, and it was lovely to see them grow, and it gave me all the feels. I got to participate in some weddings as well, which was really fun. Shout out to Hayley and Sterling for making me a Kikoyi girl, or Chichoyi. I think it's Chichoyi. But yeah, it was lovely to experience the Ugandan culture in that way. It was the first Ugandan wedding. Well, Sterling is Jamaican, so first Ugandan/Jamaican wedding I had been to, and it was absolutely beautiful. I went to the Ugandan trad, and it was, absolutely loved it. And you can go and follow Hayley and Sterling over on TikTok, because they've been making some really great content about their relationship and stuff like that. It was wedding season, but I had just come back from Tanzania the month before, and yeah, TMS has been TMSing. We've been doing what it is we need to do, what we've been called to do. But then after that, my main focus, so this is around the September, October mark, my main focus was creating and delivering. Now, you may be thinking this foundation is very dark, because it is, because your girl caught a tan, okay? But roll with me here. The story will explain why this foundation is so dark. I came back and I was creating and leading a transition program for the sixth formers. If you are not from the United States, if you are not from the United Kingdom, say you're from the United States or anywhere else that doesn't have sixth form. Sixth form is the last 2 years of high school that you do before you go to college/university. And these are when students are doing their A-levels, which are the exams that qualify them to be able to get a course or a place at university. So these girls had just transitioned into the first year of sixth form, which is year 12. And it was laid on my heart to do something to help them navigate that transition. If you know my story, then you know that school was an interesting time for me. I was always an amazing student, not to toot my own horn, but like toot, you know. I was a great student in terms of academia, always been smart and stuff like that. And had great like leadership positions and was doing extracurricular activities, and basically my future always looked promising, but I was struggling with my personal life and my mental health. And I would definitely say like the apex and like the peak of my struggle was in sixth form. Many people don't know this for some reason, but I'm not like secretive about it. When I was 17, I tried to like unalive myself. Like I had a overdose, and that was about 3 months before my final exams, about 3 months before I turned 18. And that happened in sixth form because of all the pressures, not just from school, but from life in general. And, you know, with the help of like therapy, my parents, having very difficult conversations with my parents and with my school, and building, you know, amazing relationships and having amazing relationships with my friends around me, I was able to get through that very tough period and learn a lot about myself, but also it made me think about, you know, how much support are we providing students when they're around that age and are transitioning into a very stressful time in their lives. Like sixth form can be quite stressful because it feels like you're really planning and executing the rest of your life. It feels like a lot is on your shoulders to think about the future and not making the wrong decisions, not getting bad grades. Like it feels as though if you mess up in sixth form, your future's kind of screwed. And for me, especially that age of like from 16 to 18, it just feels like so many people are asking you questions. What do you want to be when you grow up? How you know, making life work? How are you going to make money? You've got pressures of like relationships, friendships, and all of that. And it's kind of like, and then your body's changing, and it's kind of like, yo, this could drive someone crazy if they aren't like equipped with tools to take care of themselves and navigate this time. So I am a school governor, which is like I sit on a board of people who make sure that the school is performing well and is taking care of their students, and just in general the school is advancing. So I am a governor. I have been for about 2 years, and it's something that I'm actually really proud of, and I try to have impact in the girls' education in that way through that position, because, you know, I get to kind of contribute to how do the girls learn? How do we maximize their learning and their excellence as well, and their academic performance, as well as, how are we taking care of them, their pastoral care, how are we facilitating their holistic growth as young ladies, because it is an all-girls school. It's the school that I used to go to. And so as a governor, I decided to put this thing together for them, and I got to deliver it through September. So it was 2 sessions, 2 interactive sessions, and an ebook, which they're going to get around Christmas time. And so my main focus was that after, the wedding season was over. And then literally after the second session of the Excel program, which is what it was called, if you want notes to be able to implement it in your own secondary school / sixth form, let me know, I can share it with you. But after I presented that to the girls, literally the last day of the second session, I had a Channel 4 interview, and I was on Unapologetic, which is an amazing show produced by SBTV here on YouTube. SBTV, you guys know Jamal Edwards, rest in peace, and Channel 4. So it is hosted by Zizi Mills and Yinka Bikini, and it was actually an honor to be on there talking about some controversial issues, and we were talking about whether pornography can actually be beneficial. And your girl was on there talking about the fact that absolutely not, it is not beneficial. And obviously the argument was way more nuanced than that, but you get my gist. And it was such an honor to be on the show, and I was on there talking with another girl who's actually like a sex worker. She's like a activist for this kind of thing, and she was absolutely amazing. Shout out to you, Reed Amber. Yeah, we've been talking since, and I actually need to go on her podcast, I think, so I need to message her back. I've been so bad with my messages. Sorry to all of my friends. But I was on the panel with her, and it was so great to be able to have that discussion with somebody who has a different perspective on it. And as much as we may disagree on a lot of things, it was nice to be able to be like, you know what, here are arguments, and let's have a productive conversation. And I feel like that's what that interview was. Zizi Mills and Yinka are amazing interviewers, by the way. And I got to do the show and meet with like people that I knew and had met online, I guess. So like I met the Slumflower in person for the first time, but we had known each other on the internet for a while. Elaine Baby, my girl, my sis, the comedian on TikTok and Instagram, definitely follow her. But yeah, I got to do the show with those people, and it was kind of like, wow, I know some really cool people, and like, how did I end up in this room? Which has been a recurring question throughout the last year, but we'll talk more about that, y'all. Not my Face ID not recognizing me with these the concealer on. Like I said, I was there talking about pornography, and I obviously ended up in that conversation because of the video that is here on my channel where I'm talking about pornography addiction. And as some of you, many of you actually messaged me, you noticed that for a long period that video was not available to watch. And I do kind of want to make a video addressing why I took that video down, because I think it presents some very interesting talk points for why a lot of women feel uncomfortable sharing that kind of information. And I, as bold as I am, as confident as you guys think I am about talking about taboo topics, I was affected. And so I took the video down. But if you would like to see that, then let me know. I mean, it's probably gonna go out anyway now that I've said it. But yeah, shortly before, like really just before that all happened with the Channel 4 interview and the transition program that I was leading, I went to Italy. Renee got me a solo trip to Rome for my birthday. So my birthday was back in May, but when the trip actually rolled around, which was in June, I want to say, they cancelled my flight, and I was not in like a mood to travel. So in June, I didn't actually, no, it was in July, sorry. That trip was meant to be in July. In July, I didn't go anywhere. And I made up for it for the fact that I went to 2 places in August. But yeah, July came, I was meant to go to Italy and I didn't go. So instead, I rescheduled it to go in September, October. When did I go to Milan? I want to say it was October. So yeah, in October, I went to Milan on a solo trip. I only went for 4 days, and it was absolutely lovely. Italy is a beautiful place. Milan was a beautiful place. Milan is small. Like, it felt like I did everything, like the touristy stuff, in just 3 days. And then I went to Lake Como, which was also stunning. It wasn't very sunny because, like I said, I went in like autumn. So That vlog is on its way. And talking about vlogs, I have so many vlogs of my travels, like so many vlogs of my travels, and I'm going to share all of them during Vlogmas because I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I need to start taking this platform. I need to start taking my content creation role and my place as your online sister seriously. Let's just be honest, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna be doing Vlogmas. So look forward to having a whole bunch of travel vlogs because the Egypt vlog, New York, Jamaica, Tanzania, Barcelona, and maybe somewhere else in December, we'll see. But also, I know I say December mad. I know it's my mum's fault. I actually cannot apologize anymore. This will be the second year where I am being clowned for how I say December on the internet. Take it. I say December with a Z. Okay? Yeah. I've got a degree. I've got 2 degrees, in fact. Okay? But I still say December with a Z. Blame my mum. Okay? But anyways, December is gonna be great because Vlogmas is gonna be great. And yeah, I need to like reset my whole life because if you came and saw the state of my room, you would be absolutely upset with me. And that is purely because the last few weeks, like that's just a recap of September, October. If we get into November, the last few weeks have been an absolute madness, So unfortunately, and well, not unfortunately, it is what it is. It's a part of the journey. At the end of October, I left my church. And it's been a very like growing period for me, and it was very amicable, and I'm not going to go into any details about it. Yeah, it was very amicable, and it was a transition that I definitely needed to make because of many different reasons, personal, and I definitely have gone through a range of emotions towards it. This November marks 7 years of me being a Christian since I became a born again believer and professed my belief in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And you know, 7 is the year of, I believe, perfection. And I've definitely felt this tugging since 2020 actually, regarding my spiritual growth and what is necessary for the next phase of my spiritual growth. And I wanted to really take that seriously now that I'm stepping into my 7th year. And so this was just a very like, I got to start making some big girl decisions, take my spiritual maturity into my own hands. And I think if you watch any content surrounding leaving a church or trying to find a new church, or, you know, church families and our relationships with our congregation and stuff like that, sometimes it can be messy, and I actually thank God that mine wasn't that messy at all. So, you know, that's just a huge part of my development this year, which I don't want to go into detail about, but I thought let me share because you guys have been a part of and had insight into my faith journey since I started this channel. And so, yeah, I have been thinking as well about making more faith-based content and what that looks like. But child, that's another, maybe we'll talk about that in the new year. Yeah. So let me actually just work on getting these vlogs out. Literally about 3 days after my last Sunday in church, Renee and I went to Jamaica, and it was lovely. It was everything I needed. Oh, firstly, the sun, beautiful. Your girl, that's why we have the darker foundation. Shout out to my L'Oreal True Match in the shade in the description box because I can't read it on the thing right now. But that sun was everything. I am a sun baby. I'm a spring baby, spring born. And like, I know exactly why God did that. I love the sun. Like, put me in the sun, I will roast like a plantain and I'll be happy about it. I loved it. The music, it was great. We stayed at an all-inclusive resort called Jewel Paradise Cove in Ocho Rios, and it was lovely. Free-flowing mocktails for me and cocktails for everyone else, and it was good. That frozen pina colada, I'm not gonna lie, my sugar levels through the roof. That trip, I did not care about calories. I did not care about drinks. I didn't care about sugar, like all of that. And I think I'm paying the price. Are you seeing there's like a spot here? Like it's just a lot. The food, brown stewed every version of meat. We had brown stewed chicken, beef, mutton, brown stew, everything. If it can be stewed, brown stew it and give it to me, because that's my favorite like Jamaican dish. And yeah, it was just good. It was just so good. And we had 7 days, I want to say, out there. Swam with dolphins and all of that. There's a vlog coming, don't worry. That one might be short though, because the majority of what we did on that trip was rest, lie on the beach. For me, Renee was in hammocks reading books. I was listening to my sermons, my podcasts, my audiobooks. And it was great to just have, just be listening to stuff. That's what I love to do. However, we were also prepping for the To My Sisters live show. And there was a lot of work. Am I gonna set my face? Do I wanna do that? There was a lot of work that went into the To My Sisters live show, which kind of crept up on us. And you guys know TMS team is me, Renee, and we have 2 like contractors who help us, who have very much become sisters. So when I say contractors, don't think I'm like, you know, putting them afar. They have helped us make our dreams come true, which are Miss Raquel from XV Events, who has helped us with all of the London live shows so far, and Miss Vidette, the founder of Sorted Chalet, who is based in Ghana, who has made all of our international dreams come true. But yeah, it's very much the majority of the responsibility has been put on Renee and, well, is on Renee and I, which is fine. This is what we're called to do. This is what we've decided to do. And we were making a lot of those decisions and developments whilst we were in Jamaica. So we landed back from Jamaica. Actually, before I get into that, I'm going to be setting my under eye. This is what's changed the game for me. I'm going to be setting my under eye with the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation Powder. This under the eye has changed my makeup game, all right? And just powders in general have helped me not only like oil control, because I was noticing that my makeup was becoming very oily, but also just have like a flawless look. So I literally just go in with my sponge and pick up the product. It doesn't really have that much excess, but you know me and my habit of blowing my sponge. And then I just go in and I press it under my eye. And as you can see, it's very bright. Don't be alarmed. You guys know I like a bright under eye already, but don't be alarmed. We are going to blend it. But yeah, I just press that into my under eye to set my foundation. My concealer, sorry. A full list of all the products that I'm using for my makeup will be in my description box. So don't worry if I don't mention anything. I will put, like I said, all the names of the products and the shades and stuff down there. We landed from Jamaica on the 11th of November. Literally a 10-hour flight, Virgin Atlantic, shout out to y'all. A 10-hour flight, landed in London at around 1 p.m. We got home at about 2 p.m. The live show was the next day. We were shattered. As soon as we landed, I had to go and find some trousers for my outfit, which turned out really, really cute. Thank God for M&S, because them trousers were gorgeous. You would have thought I paid an arm and a leg for them. They were not that pricey. But yeah, everyone loved my outfit too, and I loved it too. But we did the live show the next day. I was so tired. We were both tired. But you know what? The energy in that room from all of the sisters, we couldn't have prayed for anything better. Like, it was amazing. Our panelists were amazing. We had Lydia Dinga. Is it excitement, enthusiasm, or stupidity? We don't know. However, we had Lydia Dinga, Vika Tivu, my YouTube sisters, my girls, and they have been such amazing parts of the To My Sisters journey so far over the last 2 years. And then we had Tiwalola Ogunlesi, who is the author of Confident and Killing It. Go and listen to her podcast, go and follow her. She is dope, and she all of them dropped such amazing gems that day. I'm not gonna lie, they were on their A game, and I know I, for one, got so much wisdom and insight into how to pursue my goals with confidence. And that's what the whole panel was about. And I'm sure all of the girls in the room can attest to the fact that that panel was so helpful. The whole event was hosted by Adela Afadi. You see me and my YouTube girls, I'm a rap with them and they gonna rap with me, and I love that. But they have all been a part of our journeys for a very long time, a good couple of years. So it was great to be able to do the event and feature them and their journeys, their stories, and their insights. And just to get to meet all of the sisters. Well, not all, we couldn't possibly fit all of the sisters in a room. Damn. But like to meet some of the sisters, especially the ones from the UK, we had a girl flying all the way from Houston, Texas, America to come to the live show. And like the scale of what To My Sisters has grown into in just 2 years can only be God. We can only give God thanks. And like the sisterhood has just been such a positive impact on not just our lives as founders and as sisters, but everyone else who listens to it. And that's all you can ever pray for. Like, it's not just downloads, it's not just, this amazing book deal and all these cool things that we get to do and the holiday retreats that we've done, but to know that that podcast has built a community of women who are dedicated to doing life with each other. I'm also setting my face with the L'Oreal Infallible Powder in a different shade. But to know that the podcast has done that, we can only say glory to the Most High, okay? We did the live show, we premiered the Tanzania vlog, talked about what year 3 of TMS looked like. We did a whole live podcast segment where we were just having a good old chat and the girls were answering dilemmas. If you haven't listened to my podcast, then you need to go and listen to it. I'm not gonna lie, it's giving hater. But maybe you just don't know. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you don't know the hit podcast To My Sisters. I'm not saying it's a hit, it's on the back of our book, which I'm going to get into. But maybe you haven't heard that my best friend and I have a podcast called To My Sisters. It's available here on YouTube as well as on all podcast streaming platforms. So I think that you should go and listen to a good couple of episodes. I'm sure you'll be hooked. Maybe subscribe. Maybe even rate it 5 stars. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. We did the live show and it was amazing. It went so quickly. We're currently in talks with Raquel about the next one. So talk about bigger and better. Talk about bigger and better. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry if I'm looking down here, it's because I'm looking at the viewfinder. I've got my iPad here showing me what's on the camera because I can't see. The live show was amazing. We met, we hugged you, we laughed, we cried, but we also made some major announcements about TMS Year 3 and my God, next year is looking like a movie, an absolute movie by God's grace. And it was so lovely to just be surrounded by all of our friends. A lot of the girls who, were volunteering were our friends and they came and they made the atmosphere. They really showed that culture of sisterhood and celebration, which we've been working hard to cultivate through, the podcast, but to be in a room and feel that manifest, surreal, absolutely surreal. And so yeah, shout out to all of them. I'm gonna be bronzing / contouring with the Flawless in Real Life bronzer, baked bronzer from Awoma. They actually have, and I didn't know this was new when I picked it up, but this is new. So they have this Aroma by Sharon C line, which is available in Superdrug. And I think this is the darkest one, but it's dark enough to make me look all nice and bronzed up, which is, I was really surprised to see, but Awoma doesn't lack when it comes to giving us shades on shades on shades. And so I'm really glad to see that they're now available and accessible through Superdrug in store at that. So I'm gonna be using this Real Techniques brush and we're just gonna warm ourselves up a little bit. I've been loving looking all brown and I just love me with a tan. I think that's actually the best version of me. All of me, even if I was pale, and looking all kind of dusty, it's still giving at least 7 out of 10. But with a tan, a Jamaica tan at that, somebody call the police. I will look good. We are going to Bali with girls who listen to the podcast, who make up the sisterhood. And it's amazing because you guys know I love to travel. Everything I've just explained should let you know I love to travel. And I know a lot of us love to travel, but we don't always know who to go with. And a lot of us don't have the confidence or the desire to go to certain places on our own. And so to be able to meet up with like-minded women who you can build relationships with and friendships with and then travel the world and see the world with each other is an absolutely amazing thing. And I remember once I tweeted about wanting to find people to travel with because I wanted to travel the world, and it's not always that my friends are available or they want to go to the places I want to go to. And I was able to come across different travel collectives, but at the time I didn't really have the money. But now to be able to basically have created that, and solved that problem, God really does put your purpose and your destiny in you. Don't be looking at your problems and your questions as just, issues that you have and, frustrations that you have. You've got the solution. Find it in your circle. Dream of the solution to it and build it if you can, because that's how you find destiny, man. And so, yeah, we are going to Bali. We're going to South Africa in 2024 to have a whole live show and a trip. What else is going down? We're going to Essence Fest next year. So if you are in the USA and you want to come to Essence Fest with your girl, come through. Information will be released. I'll leave the information in the description box as well for you to check that out, to sign up, register your interest, etc. Because once we release, the application forms for you to get picked and selected to travel with us, those spaces, I don't know, can't guarantee. By faith, we say that they will all be gone ASAP, but I do also think that they will be. So you want to be on that ASAP. Can you see how this bronzer, it didn't do too much, but it did enough. Do you get what I mean? I'm then gonna top that off because this is kind of like a cream powder consistency, I wanna say. I'm gonna then top it off with my classic deep matte bronzer from Revolution, you guys know. We also have some amazing UK-based events for our UK sisters, inspired by the charity walk that we did, because it was lovely to just get to chill in our home city with the sisters as well. So if you are looking for a community to be a part of, to do really fun things, as well as to find, content which helps grow you, helps you invest in yourself, and just talks that real talk, then you should just check out To My Sisters and To My Sisterhood on every social platform. I'm not biased. Well, I am biased, but I'm not lying. The very next day, well, actually the day of the live show, I went to right after I went to watch Black Panther, and that film is excellent. That film, I could do a whole YouTube video talking about it. I've heard some very wayward things from some of the people in my life, which has been quite disappointing. Some people have given it a 6 out of 10, a 1 out of 10 even. And that has given me a new fire in my belly to start doing film reviews. Don't know how, don't know where. But if you would like a video of me talking about Black Panther as somebody who's already watched it twice in 6 days, then let me know, because I'll do it. I'll do it. I will. Went to watch Black Panther, it was amazing. And generally, I realized that I have been missing being in the cinema and watching films. I didn't conceal my eyebrow, I just filled it. What was I saying? Girl, if I do not stay focused, I need to get tested for something, because my mind just, wow. After that, the very next day, which was Sunday, the 13th of November, my two good friends had a baby shower. Sam and Jen, I think I've mentioned them here. I've definitely mentioned them on the podcast a few times, but they're two of my closest friends. They are having a baby, and they asked me to be the godmother of their child. Me. I'm about to be somebody's godmom, the cool auntie. I am so ready. I have nieces and nephews, don't get me wrong, but to be a godmother, it just feels oh, I have responsibilities. If I have a godchild, if I don't work, my baby don't eat. That's what it's giving. And so that has just filled me with so much joy and honor and hope for the future, in terms of I'm gonna watch this baby grow. And I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2020, I made a video talking about how the world would never be the same, because obviously after the pandemic, the world would never be the same. However, I also mentioned how I had lost my godmother during the pandemic, and she was a huge part of my life, a huge influence and a huge constant in my life from the time I was a baby to the age that unfortunately I lost her. And it made me really take that, them asking me to be the godmother, just to heart, because I remember, obviously my mind went to how impactful my godmother was in my life. Even if we didn't talk all the time, I just knew that there was somebody who was out there who supported me and loved me and was always going to be there for me, and was just providing just a constant, consistent kind of love. And I really want to be like that. And it made me really think about the woman that I want to be. And yeah, it's just an honor when somebody asks you to be a part of their child's life in that way. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for my godson to be here. And it's happening very, very soon. You would think that this was my baby, the way that I'm like so excited for him to come. Literally, that was the next day. And then 2 days after that, after the baby shower where they did the gender reveal, I went to the YouTube Back gala and graduation, and it was absolutely amazing. And obviously I had been neglecting my YouTube channel for weeks because I had been so busy with all the things that I just described, but it definitely reminded me that like, rah, I actually really enjoy YouTube, and the things that I have been able to do through this platform have changed my life, and it has allowed me to live a purposeful life, an impactful life. And yeah, it just reinvigorated, which I think is partly why I'm making this video right now, but like it has reinvigorated my love for content. So that was literally last week, Tuesday. That kind of brings us to where we're at now. I went to the YouTube Black Gala, which was great. I looked fabulous. Like, not just my words, I'm not gonna lie, even my auntie called me from America and was like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, you look fantastic. Because I changed my WhatsApp picture. I felt great. I really did feel very good. And that brings me to kind of talking about where I'm at now. And I feel probably the most confident and assured that I've ever been. I think the last 1 year has been me figuring out who am I and who do I want to be. And it's been hard to answer the question because life has been full of so many possibilities, but also so many challenges. And I remember we were in Jamaica and I was speaking to Renee and I was crying because, you know, I just left church and that decision was still something that was just going on in my spirit. Just a lot was happening in my spirit basically. And I just felt like the future felt uncertain. Like I'd gone on this gap year, but I felt like I had to get serious about life somehow. And she really came in, and this is why you need good friends around you. Like, blessed are they that sit in the counsel of the wise and not in the counsel of the wicked, because she was there at a very sensitive point. And she gave me some game, man. She gave me some serious wisdom. I am using Ken Beauty's Dakar, my favorite blush in the absolute world. She gave me some wisdom, which was basically like, girl, you keep calling your gap year, but look at what you've been able to achieve in your gap year. I am an author now, a co-author of a book. My debut book is coming out in March, which reminds me, my debut book with my best friend, Renee, To My Sisters, A Guide to Build a Lifelong Sisterhood and Friendship, is available to pre-order right now. So hit the link. This description box is going to be filled with a lot of stuff. Hit the link in the description if you would like to order it. I'm not going to lie, it's an amazing book. Poured our hearts into it, did loads of research, and just wanted it to be beneficial, not just for you, but for the relationships you want to build in your life, which are platonic. And yeah, can't believe it. But in the year of me being on a gap year and just leaping out on faith and being like, God, I'm just going to pursue becoming better, pursue resting, and kind of reframing my relationship with work, I've been able to achieve goals that I wouldn't have even been able to pencil down because I wasn't thinking big enough. And, you know, I've traveled to 8 countries this year. I've written a book. Like, I've led this transition program and like had impact in the school I'm a governor at. I've been a school governor. Them meetings be meeting. I'm not gonna lie. And I've just been happy. Like, my health is in a good place. I feel like I'm developing a better relationship, or the best kind of relationship, with my body. And I'm so proud with where I am right now. And even if things don't look like completely pieced together and I don't have a step-by-step plan, a step-by-step plan isn't necessarily faith. Like, you can have a strategy, but a step-by-step plan where God is like, yeah, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to be guaranteed success, that doesn't require faith. That's boring. The last 1 year has challenged me to have faith. And like I was saying before, like, to have real responsibility over my spiritual maturity, as well as my personal relationship with God, which definitely took a rocky turn last year, and just during the pandemic, like it did for most people, to be honest. So it's been a great journey of growth, and I've been so thankful to have been able to go on it. And it has made me realize, let me actually put on some highlighter. It has made me realize that, like, next year is about focusing on God for me. Like, I know that maybe we'll talk about this more during Vlogmas, because I'm going to be like planning for 2023 and stuff throughout December. 2023 is set to be amazing. And here's what she was saying, like, you've called this your gap year, but you've been able to live out your dreams. This is the most happy you've been, this is the most creative you've been, this is the most you've done like in a year. You keep calling it a gap year, it seems, as a cop-out, because you don't think that this is what life can look like. And it made me deep that, like, if I'm going to talk about radically pursuing your dreams and creating the life you want, or living the life that God has called you to live, no matter what that looks like, I actually have to believe that it's possible to do this without thinking that it's an escape from the real world, right? I think there was that sense of guilt of like, I've got to grow up, I've got to be an adult, I've got to be a grown up, you know, I've got to start thinking about the future and money and all of that stuff is true. You guys know I didn't come from wealth and riches. So there's definitely still the realities of like building wealth, making money, making sure that I'm provided for. And especially as I get older and I get new responsibilities, godchild, my own children, marriage, wanting to buy assets, like all of that, it's gonna need resources. So there is a degree of practicality that goes into this. And faith is very much about the practical things that we see and the real things that we see, but it's all a manifestation of the things that we don't see. And it made me realize that like, I don't know if I have enough faith for that I will live the life God has put in my heart as a desire, because I keep thinking this has to be cut short and I need to return to reality when this could be my reality. It will take strategizing. It will take me thinking about, you know, how do I actually, you know, live off of the things that I love? But that's the challenge. That's the challenge. But once I've cracked that code, ciao, I'm gonna be living my absolute best life. And things like traveling, creating content, creating digital communities, and like all of that stuff, those are actually my passion. Like, and I need to start dignifying them with faith. And so faith and work. And so, yeah, it made me realize that like, maybe this gap year doesn't have to end. And maybe I should stop calling it a gap year and just a new phase of my career and of my life. Yeah. So yeah, the last 1 year has been beautiful, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of, I guess, the next 5 years or my 20s have in store for me. But girl, that is a story that only God knows. And hopefully, I just messed up my eyeliner. Hopefully, it's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one. But yeah, I wanted to come and give that life update of everything that's happened. And like I said, there will be so many vlogs that I need to share with you, all the way from like when I graduated with my master's degree. And I've actually been doing some more studying. We'll talk about that in the future, because it's still happening and it's still currently the biggest like shackle on my feet. Not a shackle, I mean, it's an opportunity, Lord, I'm not ungrateful, but like, you know, it's a responsibility, deadlines and work and coursework and all of that. But we'll talk about that soon. So yeah, I have poked myself in the eye. Yeah, wow. I've been good. I've been really, really good. I've been loving life. I've been building, you know, friendships and relationships with people, dating, just being out here, you know, doing cute things. Very grateful that this is the life that I've gotten to lead. And I'm also grateful for all of you for the support over the last nearly 7 years of me creating content online. Like, crazy. You've seen my growth through university and, you know, different phases of my life, business, building TMS, deciding to like focus on my health and all of that. And it has been an absolute privilege to get to share this journey with you, and for all of your encouragement. Like, all of the people that have messaged me over on like Instagram and been like, you know, how are you? What's going on? And just giving me amazing words of encouragement. Thank you. Thank you so much for being there. I've already done my lip liner, so what are we doing for lips courts? I think I'm just going to do a lip gloss there, you know. I just hope that I'll be able to create content that inspires you to live your best life and the life that God has honestly desired for you to live. I pray that you guys are all okay as well. I hope that my content also inspires and impacts in a positive way the world, your lives, whatever. So yeah, let me just finish with this nude taffy gloss from Kem. Simple. Then I'm going to spray on the Revolution Hyaluronic Fix, which is a hydrating and pumping makeup fixing spray. I literally picked this up like the day before the live show because I was stocking up on makeup. Ooh. Does that have perfume in it or something? That just got in my mouth. Also, I got my teeth whitened yesterday. Shout out to my friend Emily, Enhanced by EB. Follow them on Instagram. But yeah, you'll see that in a vlog as well, because I have been filming, guys. I actually promise you I've been filming. Have I been putting it out? No. Maybe it's time to get an editor. Maybe that will be the fix and the solution to my actual problems. But yes, I just want to say a massive thank you to you. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for supporting me. Thank you for sticking through this video, which is entirely very long. And shout out to HelloFresh as well. And thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. Can you just see how my face looks so like nice, just nice. I love it for me. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Please set your alarms. December 1st, Vlogmas is coming on this channel for the first time. I'm going to be preparing that from now because I will not let myself, I will not let you, I will not let God down, okay? I'll talk to you very, very soon. Check out all the information about my makeup, book, HelloFresh, everything down in the description box. And I'll talk to you very soon. And as always, keep beautiful. It's an amalgamation. I was going to say keep glowing and growing, and then I remembered that's not for this channel. That's for To My Sisters. And as always, stay beautiful and stay blessed, but also keep glowing and growing.